Hello everybody, my name is Puppetine from the Geeky Puppet Show here on the Geeky Puppet Show. Today, for what? For She-Hulk. And joining me, of course, as always, well, you can see him, he's small, he's green, he's at my side. He is the comic book frog, Froggy!
Hello, how's it going?
Well, it's certainly going. It's certainly moving and shaking and clapping. That's kind of day that I'm having. But enough of those hips gyrating. Let's go ahead and move on with the show, huh?
All right. So, I guess we'll go right to it. The show starts off, with Jen in her car. She's driving. She's breaking the fourth wall. She had to deal with Blonsky basically breaking out. She confronts him. He says that well, it wasn't my choice to break out. I was kidnapped, and forced to fight against something, and it turns out it's Wong.
It was very Wong.
Yes, but before we get to that, though, we basically get news reports on She-Hulk and all that stuff. So, and then we see people's social media over here. And now, so this is some of the tweets that are popping up on the show. And I gotta say, the show is trolling the people who are review bombing this show.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you hate the show, that's a cool thing, But I mean, it's kind of funny that they're actually taking pot shots at these people too, because normally shows don't do that inside the show.
Yeah.
So
if this stuff, okay, I see, because I see you skipping Tosh. If you are bothered because a She-Hulk exists, then you are part of the problem.
Well, yeah,
I'm not saying this show is great. I'm not saying this show needed to be made even, but I'm talking about the character herself.
Yeah, so basically, the people in here, these tweets are basically meant towards the people who are attacking the MCU. Why is everything got to be the bottom one? No more female superheroes, please. Why are we turning every superhero into a girl? And So so why we have a Me Too movement? All the heroes are gone. The male heroes are gone. So. It's basically the show does break the fourth wall, so it makes sense that they would have this in here too, and plus it's another thing, as far as people say, well, that just shows that they hate us. I'm like, well, you hate them.
Yeah. As Skip and Tosh says, a good sport. I can take the trolling that shows can usually do. Sometimes it's not so heavy-handed. But here I don't really care.
No.
There are obviously, I can already see the next Nerdrotic video. They call us out. This is what we do. Yes, it's going to be a lot of screaming.
Yes. So moving on. So basically getting a little media dump at the very beginning of the episode.
Yep.
Now this is a key character here on the right side. This is Gideon Wilson. He's basically the former prosecutor. They basically put away the Abomination. He is also
my lover.
In the MCU timeline, he is different from what he is in the comics. He's actually the cousin of Sam Wilson, who was the Falcon at the time. And he's later on imbued with powers that's being exposed to gamma radiation. And he actually battles the Hulk. So. It's interesting to see him here, and also the show is tying heavily, if you're figuring out. The past episode talked about Wolverine getting in a bar fight. They didn't mention him, but they said a mutant claws, and they also this confirmed that the Edward Norton Hulk is canon.
Yes, we got a nod towards that specifically.
So after this, because everybody's asking what they're talking about She-Hulk, I want to move into Jen's called into her her boss's office, wants to talk to her, wants her to go on this case. While they're while they're talking, they're interrupted by none other than Mallory. For those who remember who Mallory is basically the from the Dan Slott comic books. She's basically the rival, lawyer who also works in the superhero division in the show.
The face that never lost a case.
Yes. All right. Moving on. After She-Hulk basically because Jen was asked to defend a former co-worker of hers at their other job, who's now being accused of, or not accused, but he basically was scammed by an elf, a shape-shifting Asgardian elf. Yes, who was posing as Megan Thee Stallion, who I still have no idea who it is.
No. That's the worst part of this. The whole subplot here relies on, wow, Dennis, you thought you literally had a date with Megan Thee Stallion? Like this means something to even a quarter of the audience.
Yeah, I just want to point out that it's showing how stupid this guy is, but I got to see more of Adrian Chase, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
So wondering, yes, the Adrian Chase from Arrow, that actor, is also in this show.
He's enjoyable.
And he slimmed down a lot too.
But no, like I said, the subplot is very annoying. That being said, I did find some of the moments with the Asgardian elf, who was very annoying, somewhat humorous. Like when the judge just runs back up.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that, sir.
Well, that's the thing.
That's the thing later on.
Yeah.
Yes. So, moving on, we get basically is Nikki, who's been a paralegal working for Jen, is basically supposed to contact Wong and try to get a hold of him because they need Wong to explain why he basically broke the Abomination out of prison. And so Nikki's looking him up. You notice at the bottom part, he works at Target.
Well, man has to make the money somehow.
Full time for 9 years, man.
Well, I mean, what else is he supposed to do? How else is he supposed to fill his time? He needs to put those skills to use.
And also, he has a mutual connection, Bruce Banner, who's also on this app.
What is it supposed to be, like a LinkedIn?
Yeah, it's supposed to be LinkedIn, I think.
Or Marvel LinkedIn.
Yep. So finally, they do get a hold of Wong. He shows up in her office, and he
asks what's wrong.
Yes. That was very Wong view. And so
what's wrong with it?
They want to know why he's doing. Dude, Dad explains that he basically, you ever hear of the Q-mites? Basically want to prove that he's a superior. What's it called? Sorcerer Supreme. So, and he says, she's like, don't worry and stuff. He says, look, well, I know what you're thinking, Miss Walters. I'm not going to erase everyone's memories, not again. Which basically is also tying the show into the movie. Where Doctor Strange had done this. So apparently it wasn't Wong back then, but now it's Wong.
It's Willy Wong.
Yes. All right. So after this, he leaves, he says she basically convinced him you need to show up for the court, get the parole hearing, explain that you're the one reason why he did this, and everything. So, and he says, well, I'll get back to you. And and later on, we go back to Adrian Chase. I forgot what his name is in the show, but he's talking to the former
Pug.
What?
Pug?
Yeah. Is that what his name is, Pug, in the show?
Pug is the one that works at the office with Jen, and the one that worked at the DA's office was Dennis.
Yeah, so Dennis basically was scammed here, and he's looking up at videos about Megan Thee Stallion and stuff. Find out there actually was an imposter at a fight. Megan Thee Stallion imposter. But the cool thing is there's an Iron Man 3 review, honest review. For those who love honest trailers and stuff like that, there's your little plug. All right. So then we basically go to the parole. We finally get to our Jen arrives at the parole hearing, and she's basically showing whatever she can to sell because Wong hasn't shown up. It's basically she even had Wong written down in quotations as far as witnesses.
Wong does a lot of Wong things this episode.
She wasn't know if he's reliable. He's kind of flighty. So while it's going on there to wait, they're selling and all. It's basically saying that Blonsky is a model behavior, for a prisoner, that he's reformed. He's even got his 7 soulmates there, all dressed in white. Turns out where he's gonna live. He's got himself like a not a farm, but basically like a place where he's basically gonna teach meditation.
He's a hippie.
He's basically Claus from Umbrella Academy in season 2. He's gonna start a cult.
He's a hippie.
And so going on, so Blonsky basically gets to the point where, well, I need to show them that I'm in control, be an abomination. I'm not a mindless monster. And you see him there, awesome. He transforms and stands up in there. The animation, the CG throw for him is great.
See, there's a problem that I have with this scene, and it's only the fact that clearly he was saying, look, I can show you, I'm totally in control. He takes off his shoes and he starts to change, and they're all screaming and running like they weren't expecting it when he literally said, I'm in complete control. Let me show you. It was kind of ridiculous.
You also realize there are people on city councils that are idiots and other things. Yeah, so you can't assume that people are smart and rational like you are.
Like me, yes. Of course.
It's also meant to be a comedy show.
Isn't that what this is supposed to be, too?
Wow. Maybe I should just review it by myself. You can go join Nerdrotic.
Oh. All right, I was talking about us, Froggy.
So then we also get the full money shot here. And
look at that bod.
And don't look at the crotch, because we're not sure if that should be censored or not. But
it retracts.
I guess so. Basically, after this, Jen, he reverts back to normal self. But Jen basically proves that probably the committee over the board that since he's in full control, we'll put him in a restraint, like a collar, that'll inhibit him from changing. And they win the case. He's allowed to have parole, but he can the minute he turns back into Abomination, he's getting arrested. On the way out, we get basically the question here about the news reporters, and yes, and there's a little hint to her Savage, her
true origin.
Yes, her true origin from Savage She-Hulk. Remember she got shot in an assassination attempt. And that's how she got the blood transfusion from her brother or cousin. Yep. All right, and then
I really like this callback. I when I first heard it, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" They said the Thing, even though the Thing was not a part of it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So then I gotta warn you because the next picture I gotta show you, because as Jen's walking home, she's confronted by 4 teenagers with weapons. They're enchanted by Asgardian magic. These are the Spy Kid version of the Wrecking Crew. Yes. Why? I don't know why. I mean, this feels like, remember, we got, what was it, the first Spider-Man? When he had the 4 thugs dressed up as Avengers? This is cosplay gone bad. I mean,
not all of them are teenagers. You can see the guy with the full beard right there.
Yeah, this guy in the middle. He's just kind of old looking for his age, but still, we got all of them. Thunderball is in the one with the purple and the red. He's the second from the left. Actually, no, Thunderball is the one on the left, far left, correctly.
I do have to say, Titania and then this. My goodness, they need something in there to go ahead and costume.
There's been this is the comic book incarnation of the Wreckers. See how much noticeable bigger they are. Now, the reason I gotta point this out because even in the cartoon on Ultimate Spider-Man, they were jacked up. Now,
big boys.
So that's what they look like, in the cartoon, in the comics, just jacked up, big guys. And they're kind of scrawny here. And this is really I don't think this is their final form. Because they were sent there basically to follow Jen home, and they're going to try and inject her, get her blood. I think they're going to basically inject themselves with her blood.
Well, they had a boss. They mentioned that the boss won't be happy, so we're going to have to wait and see exactly what that means. So this is the deep moment of the episode to go ahead and submit to Jen that she is She-Hulk now, whether she likes it or not. It won't go away. She needs to face that.
Actually, it's for Wanda. He's very into fashion. As you can tell, he's got the camo on the ski mask.
Indeed.
No, so I was looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, so the guy tried to inject her, but just too late. So the needle bent, and the boss can complain. They basically fled. I think that's how they're gonna bulk them up. They're gonna become more muscles at the end of this.
Maybe it could. I would be much happier if they were bulked up. Give me the beef.
Because remember, this is MCU. MCU doesn't do everything correctly. So I'm hoping, I mean, that's how I'd say face. I mean, because first, everybody's going to complain about this, but if that's what they want you to cringe at this, and then at the end, they're like, oh, crap, they look so much better towards the end,
Yeah. I honestly wasn't thinking about them after the final scene of this episode.
Yes. We'll get to your final scene because you're so happy to see that. You even made the thumbnail.
Of course, I made it the thumbnail.
Zach would be proud of you.
I don't understand. Like, first we had to hear the jokes of Megan Thee Stallion. Like, go ahead and make note of her accomplishments. Fine. But it doesn't mean a lot to the majority of people.
The sad thing is, I thought it was Nicki Minaj until they said the name.
If it was Nicki Minaj, I would know who they were talking about.
Exactly.
They needed to get the budget up. But, I don't know. Yeah, it's not... You're going to be just staring at the screen for a minute, and then you're never going to forget it. I take it back. For Hawkeye, I said, had the worst end credit scene of all time.
Actually,
I was wrong.
No, see, now I disagree. I think the other one was more cringe. This was only on for like 5 seconds. The other one was like a whole minute.
It's a matter of quantity versus quality.
The only thing I'll say this: if they do want to do a twerking scene at the end here with her twerking, get freaking She-Hulk out of the pantsuit. She's not Hillary Clinton.
Froggy wants to see those cheeks fly.
Why wasn't she in the skirt as she's a lawyer like she normally be, in the comic books, Yeah. Even in dance slots, she wore the blouse and she had the skirt.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it would have changed the tune, but I don't know.
Honestly, I think it would have for you. Because she looks like Jerry Holden.
Oh, jeez. But ultimately, I didn't like this episode. This is the worst episode for me. I don't care about the B plot at all. The A plot is okay, but then it just merges with the B plot. And they go ahead and have a fourth wall break to point that. So it's not a great episode. I am going to look forward, though, because there's 6 more, and we have to see where we go from here.
Yeah, so, Kato, we need to talk about it. So basically, at the end, we see the Wrecking Crew. Yes, they look small and skinny. But
Like
actually, as I pointed out to Palpatine, they were trying to inject her with something. So my thoughts there, being a rational person, a person that's optimistic, because I hate to just say like, oh, they ruined it and it sucks. Because what if the reason that they're trying to get her blood is because later on they're going to get bulked up themselves, like her?
Maybe.
Because I mean, as you look at the photos, I'll show them again here. This is what they look like in the comic books.
Yes.
And even in the cartoons, they're bulked up like crazy, like Hulk strength. And it was always said it's because they got that from their powers from their weapons, which are enchanted, I believe.
Boys.
And then, so this is what they look like now. So
sad boys.
Bad boys for life. What?
Sad boys.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm hoping that they act. The weapons. My takeaway from this scene, the weapons are good. The actors look like someone who just got off a Broadway show.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not seeing this as the end of the Wrecking Crew. I think there will be more from them. But we're going to have to wait and see. But that is pretty. Oh, wait 1 second. Are they going to get the Hulk booties too?
I just want to point out that anybody calls themselves, if you're a woman and you have scallion in your name, you're calling yourself a horse, a male horse.
That's wrong of us. Let's end this. Thank you so much for watching. We want to hear your thoughts, though. You've heard ours, and we've gone through the episode. But we need to hear what you think, so put that down below. Yes, they may get an upgrade like Kamala did. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. Helps out the channel a lot. In about 5 minutes, okay, maybe about 10 minutes, let's be realistic, we're going to have a rating of The Incredible Hulk, so be on the lookout for that. Other than that, there's not much more to say.
Right, yeah. I got, not the Charles Manson, but now that makes more sense. But yeah, Seven Soulmates. But I was just thinking cult.
Yep. Like the cult that I've put you in. Now let's end this. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Remember, only you can twerk with She-Hulk.
Do I have to?
Actually, I'll do it myself.
Yes, you will.
You'll watch.